Well, other than his fiancée dying, then going to Hades, and then losing her again.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, is something Dionysian cult, something fuck Apollo. I say that in jest, by the way. He probably would take that seriously.
Okay. So, well, let's see. Last week, Fleur, Daehoon got a mysterious letter telling you to meet at this certain place and to leave the barbarian. Fleur summoned Miss Olivia's mother, and you did a hostage negotiation wherein you gave up Fleur for an old man. I just have to say, this has been the worst trade deals. Worst deal of the history of trade deals ever. I definitely butchered that meme, but whatever.
Well, certainly for arson. Specifically, just arson.
Yeah. And, the spell would have ended before you get back to the palace. Presumably you would inform Arson of what happened. He's not happy.
Do him one better and like give him an autographed like wallet-sized painting of their mother. Living Proth 100% would do that.
Wow. Just wow. And
probably stick it to his back like one of those key signs, that way he doesn't notice right off the bat.
Ay vey. So, now since this was very early in the morning, is not a lot of people would notice up until breakfast.
Yes. Breakfast wouldn't say anything.
I realized what you were probably going to say when I said that, but that's not what I mean. When would you inform Arson of all this transpiring?
That depends on Sturbon and Daehoon. Liv and Sorath are going to let it play out until he himself fucking notices, and Beleth has no reason to speak to Arson.
I think Arson's in the middle of a bloody drug.
He's either tripping balls or having an existential crisis. I'm not sure which one's which.
Or both at the same time.
When he comes down, he's really going to love the new gift I gave him.
Great. What did you give him?
Don't worry about it. He's gonna hate it.
Oh, no.
That said, Sturbon, other order of business. Silvar apparently told me that like Fleur's birthday's coming up, so like maybe hold a party for her once we get back to Stockade.
When she comes back.
No, yes. Hopefully the hostage negotiation resolves itself.
Sure.
But, you know, just throwing that out there, if there's anyone for some fucking reason you want to invite to this poor girl's birthday party.
Anyone I might accidentally spill poison everywhere, so no. No one to invite.
Oh. Bro, I'm going to show up regardless.
Just
I'm
don't
throwing
touch
this party.
anything.
Also, it's acid, not poison. How many times do I have to tell you this? That said, do you think once this like progresses a little bit further, if I just claim like the ship as my lair, Arson's water arm is just gonna putrefy?
That's gonna sound like a bathing issue for him.
I'm going. You know what? I'm gonna claim the ship as my lair then. Just see what happens to his arm.
I don't think it would affect living creatures.
It's in the body of water within 100 miles of the lair.
Would that affect like other beings?
Well, to be fair, at the very least, our like the water in our bodies is mostly diluted, and I'm pretty sure also like mostly steam, given what temperature tieflings run at. But his arm is entirely fucking water. There are no bones. It truly is the forbidden soft drink.
Yeah, but like,
Actually, do you think we could carbonate his arm?
I think you've asked that question before.
Well, you know what? Hold up. I'm gonna go like look around, try and like work this out because I don't think anyone has the means to in this world. And I'll get back to you on that. See you in like 12 to 24 hours.
What?
No, you
Unless,
gotta do.
unless you want to watch me try and carbonate the Fire Ganassi's water arm.
What?
Oh, he's got a drug tip.
What the? What?
Because I mean, if you want to get involved, like I'm down. It sounds hilarious.
I mean, how do we normally carbonate it?
Well,
It's
we're
either
gonna have
a
to
lot of pressure
we're going to
or
pressurize the
yeast.
entire arm. Yeast could work, but we'd need a bunch of sugar.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if we like just sort of pressurize the entire thing, if we use like say a fire spell, the carbon dioxide that comes out will eventually just have to go into the water and carbonate it. I mean, hypothetically, I guess we could just like put the hose on top of his hair and just have it work by itself. Holy fuck, did I just invent a perpetual motion machine?
No.
Did I just break physics?
Well, it'd be perpetual motion of sorts if you're using the fire ganassi for the energy, but as soon as the fire ganassi runs out of power.
Oh, that's
then-
true. But do you think the mechanical motion of the bubbles fizzing into his bloodstream would keep the fire going?
Probably not.
Okay.
This
Okay,
isn't
so
it-
the
isn't the
only means
fire?
for okay, so the only means for perpetual motion still is magic.
Yeah.
Unfortunate. I was about to patent my Fire Ganassi water pot and make a million.
Technically, fire ganassi are magical beings to begin with.
No, yeah, and this entire thing is some prophetic blood curse, but like the point stands. Anyways, I mean, if you're down for this whole carbonating a water Ganassi's arm, great. I'm gonna go hit the kitchen and get a fuck ton of yeast and sugar and see what happens. Maybe some vanilla extract, maybe flavor it slightly. If you wanna tag along, just like follow me.
Oh, I'll come along to make sure that he doesn't die from this.
You know what? Yeah, that's fair. I can't say I would be an unbiased medical provider in this case.
Okay, so, here's the thing. You have yet to determine if Arson's water arm is saltwater or freshwater.
There's saltwater yeast.
The only thing you've determined is that it's
Alright.
acidic.
Alright. Well, seeing as I'm the one turning into a fucking black dragon, just hold up. She's gonna go into Arson's room, and just sort of like, kind of like a cat, lick up some of the water arm and see if it's salty or not.
What the? You want to message Arson on what you're trying to do here? Because I am quite certain I am quite certain that he's not going to allow you to do that.
Isn't he asleep?
He's also drugged out of his mind, so...
Yeah, isn't he both high as shit, having an existential crisis, and asleep all at the same time?
We established... Well, Soul established that we can still message her.
Okay, well, I will DM Soul saying that Arson may or may not wake up to Cool Mom licking at his arm. Alright?
That's just great.
Okay, hold on. What was that specifically?
Fine, I'll message Soul that Arson may or may not wake up to Cool Mom licking his water arm.
Oh, dear. Are you trying to figure out if his arm is sold or not, Arthur?
I am messaging Soul.
Odite.
There. There. I DM'd Arson. I await a response.
Okay, and if she responds to you, then you're going to have to say what her response was.
I will post it in the chat. But, oh, that, yes.
Why did I get rid of Nice Mom?
Something plot, something serious.
Yeah, I'm starting to reconsider.
You have to understand, Liv's two checks are currently kidnapped and asleep.
Kidnapped and asleep?
Yeah, Libertas is currently asleep, is he not?
Well, if this is taking place during breakfast, then no. But if you're immediately after getting back, then yes.
This is like immediately after returning. Watch a Soul just fucking joins the VC at that.
I hate you. Well, while we're waiting for that response, in the SRD for downtime activities, you can craft, practice for a profession, recuperate, which isn't necessary for any of you. Do research or train.
I might need to recuperate after this.
I mean, I think Arson would need to recuperate after this.
Okay, so both of us might need to recuperate after this. The point stands.
Like, what damage are you going to get?
I don't know, acid? I'm still not technically resistant or immune. My only point is I'm turning into a dragon that breathes it. I probably am going to be hurt less.
Eventually.
Oh, dear Lord.
I mean, who knows? Maybe you'll become... Maybe you'll get draconic lycanthropy.
Well, that's gonna be awkward.
What do you mean by that? Just randomly turn into a dragon on nights of the full moon? Or...
You know what? If that happens, no, dragons are actually intelligent. I should be fine.
Usually.
Actually, I haven't read the section on lycanthropy for a while.
Well, okay, white dragons are usually more feral than others, but the point stands, Sturban. That said, we have, like, if that happens, we have, like, a solid 12 hours to, like, start shit with some big shot, and then, like, you gotta bucket.
You know what would be awkward is if you do manage to convince a dragon to be your feudal overlord, then Liv becomes a potential threat. Because as an adult, she would theoretically transform into an adult dragon.
Okay, well, you see, it only lasts for 12 hours, man. You still keep the gold. Look, I mean, unless you just want to fuck. But I'm genuinely concerned as to how that would work out, so I'm just gonna go over here and take a nap.
Well, I haven't finalized what's going to happen to you in the end. If you don't stop this.
We shall see, I guess.
Okay, so Sterabon, since I'm technically not on Phlegethos, if I die, I don't actually die. So take my almost brother-in-law's sword and just cut my head off.
But why, though?
Trust me on this. It's going to be hell for arson, and that's honestly motive enough.
But what would cutting her head off do here?
You kill this body, but since I technically don't have a soul, I'd return to Phlegethos and reform.
Sounds fun.
Yeah, it's weird. Technically speaking, you have an ancestor like that.
Sure.
Oh, almost all lineages are started by Allophines. Well, not Allophines, Cambions. Allophines are a very specific subsect of Cambion.
Let's not do that now. Be messy.
Yeah.
Bruh, just get a mob then afterwards. It's not that hard.
We're on a boat. Blood gets soaked into the blasted wood. It's annoying. Or is this in the palace that we're?
Obviously in the palace. I mean, if we're gonna leave a bloodstain anywhere, we might as well stick it to my old lord.
Sure, if we do it in the palace, it'd be totally fine.
Cool.
Question.
It's either that or we gotta wait a month for Fleur's birthday and then you just do it.
How about we wait a month for Fleur's birthday?
Okay. This would be the most fucked up birthday present for her. I'm on board.
Make sure to wrap up your head days.
Yes, I see. We're going to go for the old god. She just wakes up the next morning to my severed head.
It'll be nicely wrapped.
Well, yes, obviously.
Oh,
come on. Even in this body's eventual death, I still have style. Look, see, you don't have to worry. Unlike Daehoon, I won't pop into an infernal zit. So
that's a wonderful thought.
Well, see, so technically speaking, I'm fair game.
Yes.
Daehoon isn't. Daehoon we have to throw into the universe's garbage disposal.
I mean, is there any known way? Yeah,
well, the easiest way is to drop him into the negative energy plane, because it doesn't matter what happens there. The Teneri will fucking die as soon as they go through whatever portal he makes.
Be one way. Just be a lot less of them.
Yeah, honestly, it's probably our easiest method to get rid of Daehoon.
Mm-hmm.
That said, we probably shouldn't throw Daehoon Stormbender into negative energy plane color pool until he's actually conscious and consents to it.
I don't think he'll consent to it. Can we just do it while he's unconscious?
Okay, sure. So, let's see. Order of business. We're gonna have to try and carbonate Arson's water arm. And I'm gonna have to go talk with a black dragon, see if there's any other way to reverse this shit besides cutting my head off. Then I just spend the rest of the month getting swole. That way I can help you lift him up. Because in case you ever noticed, I'm weak as shit.
Yeah, you just get swole. I'll make some anesthesia. And,
yeah, we do still totally have those mushrooms.
Yep.
I mean, to be fair, if you got some coin to spare, you could probably just hire Bella. She'll help.
Sure.
I do mean hire. She doesn't do a lot of pro bono work.
Sure, I can convince her to do pro bono work somehow. It'll look great in your collection of whatever. I don't know. What is it they call it? Big old book of stuff you did.
Oh, I mean, sure, the bards might sing epics about her after she's dead. By bards, I mean Sorathan specific.
Just one bard.
Really, just the one bard. I love my sisters, but I'm not going to sing epics about them.
Comedies, though.
Yeah. I am, however, willing to play this as she pulls out her violin and starts playing the coffin dance on her violin before putting it away. Just tell me when he's going to do that so I can do it.
Wonderful.
Also,
Soul never responded.
Yeah, I figured since nothing's been popping up, but presumably Arson would not go for this. I'm quite certain Arson wouldn't go for this.
Yeah, but okay, but for that first or second lick before he wakes up, is it salty or
not? Well, first off, give me a stealth check.
Alright. Hey, Starborn, you want to help me out on this one?
Even...
Well, look, okay, fine. I'll get the... Wait, the lion cub fucking died, didn't he? she just tears a fucking breakfast out of the bag of you help me with this. To which breakfast begrudgingly because his only friend in the party is Arson. Alright, so stealth.
Yes. Well. That is 10 over his passive.
Okay, so I do.
It is salty.
Wonderful.
Okay, so it's salty. We're gonna need to get some saltwater yeast.
Yep.
What? Saltwater yeast?
It works.
Look, I mean, unless like purify food and drink.
Yeah. Normal. Oh, yeah, sorry. I was looking up yeast. Yeah, there's normal. The yeast we usually use is salt water.
Oh.
It's for some breads.
Oh, well then we're fine. Okay. see, yeah, the alternative is that, like, you do that whole druid thing to purify his water arm. That way it's not acidic and salty.
Wonderful.
It also, yeah, it's an interesting taste. You get hints of, like, volcanic ash, salt, sort of like sweat, and, much like a pineapple that bites back.
Good Lord.
It's a very interesting cocktail, I must admit.
Great. It's information I didn't want.
You know, if we just like add some like fruit, it might make it sweeter. All right, time to go make Carson's water arm into a fucking LaCroix. Follow me. I'll lead you to the kitchen.
All right.
Right, so what? We're gonna raid the pantry for like sugar, yeast, and some fresh fruit.
Just a ton of sugar.
So much sugar. Honestly, it might give Arson type 2 diabetes, but like it's worth it in the end for science. Liv will also hold up like a small bottle of vanilla extract and get like see if Sturbon like says yay or nay on it.
Are we just turning his arm into a cake now?
Oh, I mean, we could do cake. There's egg and flour over here, and get some milk out of the cold storage. But I look more just going to turn it into like something that tastes better at the very least.
If you, are you gonna...
But fine. I'll put the vanilla extract back. Let's go back to his room and do this.
That just summarizes me this entire evening so far.
So yes, when we are going to return to Arson's room, we will also precipitation like the roll of saran wrap again. That way it can like keep the arm intact, so it gets actually carbonated. All right, Sturbon, you ready for this?
Oh dear.
If you had enough sugar, we might be able to turn it into like rum.
Oh dear Lord.
Actually, knowing Arson, he might like that.
Alright, so we just tell him we're turning his arm into rum and leave it at that.
Yeah. You're probably better with like concoctions and shit than I am.
I mean, yeast and sugar will make alcohol. A lot of alcohol.
I'm keenly aware of that. You know what? Here. But the point stands, you know when I tend to do like simple chemistry projects, they come alive for some fucking reason.
His arm's already alive. If you make it somehow necromantic.
Because if you don't want to, so you take the sugar and yeast and you do that. I'll write a note that we're turning his water arm into yeast, not yeast, rum. That way he's cool with it. All right.
All right.
Liv will write on like presumably Arson's journal or some bullshit. It's like, hey buddy, don't remove that saran wrap. We're turning your water arm into rum. Don't worry about it. But it's like with the perfect fucking calligraphy. It looks absolutely beautiful.
Oh dear.
You're doing this with calligraphy.
She is actually using one of her abilities as a charlatan and 100% mimicking what she saw Fleur ride it as. So hey, she's throwing Nice Bum under the bus.
Dear.
B. Arson now knows what's going on.
Oh. Alright, there goes another red flag.
I believe the
Alright, no, sorry, no, not red flag, death flag.
Yes. I shall leave the rest to Sturbon.
Great.
So, what is it you're trying to do?
Just add a bunch of sugar, some yeast, and then maybe the fruit as well into his arm. Go to day. Let the yeast do the rest of the work.
Day immortality.
It should carbonate his arm. And make alcohol as well.
A lot of alcohol.
A lot of it.
Well, I now know what Arson's going to be doing for the next however long.
He's gonna be drunk out of his fucking mind.
Just permanently drunk, it's alright.
It's okay. Wait, take the amulet off of him. That way he does actually get drunk.
Oh, no, that's what the amulet...
No, the amulet still makes him... He will just continuously heal off of it, won't he?
Yes.
Yeah, no, fuck it. Leave it on him.
I'll be constantly healing with that.
He will be at the top of his game. Every day he wakes up and just like fucking slap in the face of it hit points.
Just constantly. It's great.
His wounds are gonna close. We are doing him a service, if anything.
No, you're not. But the thing is, you don't know that. You won't know that until it's done.
Well, it's too late. We've already committed. Arson.
Very.
Okay, so now do you want to fuck with Daehoon?
So, your experiment fails, and Arson now has to spend the next 3 days recuperating from being poisoned.
Unfortunate.
Very.
Worth it, but unfortunate. So next time we don't go for the yeast option and instead, smoke.
Sure.
All right, great. You want to go fuck with Daehoon now?
Yep.
All right. I think the last one. How do you want to fuck with Daehoon?
What now?
Well,
how do you want to fuck with the paladin?
Well, important question. What did you do with the old man?
Presumably Daehoon has the old man. Yo, do you want to get the old man lost in, some secret tunnel? Make Daehoon freak?
Sure. We'll just stick him in the library. Daehoon will never go there.
That's a fair point. And to be fair, I know the secret library.
Okay.
All right, let's do it.
Sure.
Right. So,
well,
do you want to throw me in your bag of holding or my bag of holding?
Probably yours. You just have bones in there, right? I'm pretty sure I have like a bunch of other stuff that are not so friendly.
Okay, yeah. Instead of like accidentally stabbing him, I'll just give the old man a heart attack. Got it.
Yeah, that would work quite well.
Fair enough. I mean, the two of us and also Chomper can keep him from actually dying, but you know. All right.
You know, the worst part about this is Chomper wouldn't think anything other than this is suspicious. I'm pretty sure this is not what you're supposed to be doing, but I'm not from the society, so...
Chomper watching Levin Sturbon just skulk around the castle fucking with their two co-workers.
I mean, yeah.
No wonder Liv just consider Sturbon one of her only friends.
Goes along with her crazy plans.
Yeah. So we are dumping this old man in the library, right?
We'll just stick him there. I can probably stay with him and see if this library has anything interesting in it.
Yeah. There was a bigger one that burned down a few years ago.
Very sad.
A noticeable tear rolls down Liv's cheek. But like, the Royal Library does still have some like excellent stuff.
Awesome.
None of it, by the way, you can show Daehoon. I've probably introduced him to enough philosophers in his fucking life.
Great.
Yeah, that is true. A lot of the books he has read are philosophy books.
So he's very philosophical.
It's probably a mistake. That said, I mean, if you are going to give him any, there might be some notes about this dude called Diogenes. Try that.
Great.
Look, I mean, it's better than some of them. All right, great. You want to just trade bags of holding then? You take the one with the hostage in it. All right, great.
So,
works for me.
Yeah, not hard to find the old man. Seems like those two have had a talk, not a encouraging one. And you secret him away to the library.
Liv will pull out some lipstick, melt it slightly on a candle, and make it look like she's writing something in blood and in Infernal, and then just leave. That way, when Daehoon wakes up later, he just sees this written on his wall.
All right. Did you just give him a riddle on where to look that points him in the opposite direction of us?
It's a message, all right.
Great.
Okay, so yeah,
there is also a map. The thing is, yes, it does lead in the opposite direction, and probably through some tunnels that are way too small for him. Alright, so you have... Okay, alright, so you can take my bag of holding. I'm gonna go take Chomper and go speak with this fucking black dragon now.
Liv, as you and Chomper are making your way through the palace, you get a message in your mind, since during that hostage negotiations, you're the one who was primarily doing all the talking. It says, before you leave Agia, Fleur and Silvar may have forgotten a few things in their room. And they would appreciate it if they did not get left behind.
Cool. Liv will tell Sorath on the way out because we're not actually leaving a Gia. And Sorath will invariably just send a message via sending to Sturbon something about the effects in Fleur and Silvar's room to make sure that to pick them up before we leave the country.
Alright. Noted. I'll do that after Dahan wakes everyone up.
That sounds disconcerting. What the fuck did you might you know, I'm not gonna ask. Not gonna ask. I know for a fact it was my sister who dragged you into this. Not going to ask. I'm also going to lock my door, that way he can't come barging in. Thank you for that.
Yeah, sure.
So, this is going to be... Well, this little trip is going to be at least 2 days of flying.
Great, gives Arson some time to recover before we have to try the next experiment.
So, Starabon, in that time, what do you do?
I mean, I'm still chilling in the library, I guess, so...
Oh yeah, you're entirely self-sufficient in there. You can just cast Goodberry.
Yep.
And, a library would be a great time to do some research.
Yep.
Alright,
Probably not the kind you want, but...
Oh dear God, what are you going to research?
Anything. Just everything. You go back, I know everything about the
scroll and just start reading. You're gonna... Oh fuck, I'm gonna come back and you're gonna have a 20 intelligence.
Yes.
Alright,
It's only 20 intelligence, like, at noon. That's it.
Alright.
Alright, well, are you actually just reading everything in there?
Possibly. Probably more things about druids, and to be completely honest. Being called a nature spirit normal for druids.
Oh yes, I almost forgot before leaving the palace. Liv would tell Starbon if he doesn't let the old man out, just make sure to like poke a straw into the bag of holding. That way his Saddam Hussein hole has proper airflow.
Actually, yeah, that is a good point. Do you actually let him out, like into the library? Okay, good.
Yeah, we let him out. I'm not that mean.
Alright then.
Tell him we're playing an old game I used to play with others.
But Liv does make sure does emphasize the Saddam Hussein hole.
Well,
no one fucking understands it.
Let's see. When you begin your research, the GM determines whether the information is available, how many days of downtime it will take to find, and whether there are any restrictions on your research. The GM might also require you to make one or more ability checks, such as investigation, to find out clues towards the information you seek, or charisma or persuasion to secure someone's aid. Well, you've secured yourself in a secret library. I don't think there are going to be very many people in there.
No.
So it would
probably not.
This would probably be an investigation check.
Alright. 14.
Alright. Well, being called the spirit of nature isn't that... it isn't common for druids to be called that specifically.
Alright.
You do find occasional references to the spirit of nature. One being that druid you met on that island.
Mm-hmm.
You also find some scholarly books written by druids. The most recent of which being written by a Arno.
Yeah.
Which strangely has quite a bit of water damage. No, scratch that. I'm forgetting what race that person was. But it talks a lot about astronomy.
So he was an astronomer talking about, all right, anything in relation to spells or such? I don't know, increasing power of a druid. Use of the stars.
Well, there is some stuff, but they are circle-specific stuff.
Sure, I'm sure I can use that circle as well. It's totally fine. So basically, stuff that I have no particular interest, but
well, one of the books you find by it, actually a collection of druids, it actually lists some spells and some rituals to do them. Actually, the one book written by the druid you had met, it's probably gone through hundreds of translations and transcriptions, so you don't exactly know how accurate it is, but describe how she was able to utilize abilities from other circles.
Ooh. That sounds fun. Does she mention what sort of abilities?
Or
is it just?
Well,
she studied
the thing is that when you met her, she was thousands of years old.
Yep.
So, and this work has gone through thousands of years of being translated and being transcribed. Different hands, different authors. So who knows how accurate any of this is. You might actually have to go speak with her yourself to actually learn learn if and how she managed to do this.
I guess I'll just start trying to figure out. So, fine. I guess we might not actually do that. And I have a ton of downtime in this library. Can I just try using anything the guy in the astronomy book mentions, Honor or whatever? Like any
so the name is the name is actually written like this.
Arno. I see.
There's a reason, and it's a reference. Well, actually, it's an Easter egg, but until you potentially meet this person, you won't get it.
Sure.
In Arno's book, and it's a lot of theory, some pretty advanced stuff that makes you wonder, is this actually a druid writing this, or is this a research academic?
Alright. So he's talking more, I don't know, full of stars stuff instead of like...
Well, there's... Most of it is star stuff, though. Well, the parts where you're like, okay, yeah, I guess this is a druid. Do talk about star charts and just pull this up. Like utilizing star charts as a way of casting spells. And instead of a arcane instead of a druidic focus or a component pouch. Also talks about how to utilize the wild shape ability of druids to assume the form of a constellation for different effects.
Sounds interesting. Does he have a map of this constellation stuff?
Specifically mentions, I think it was the Cup, Archer, and the Dragon.
Oh, alright. I think I'm just going to copy down the Dragon constellation. Probably on a roll of maps, paper somewhere, just for fun. I know exactly where I'm going to be putting. Who I'm going to be showing that to.
Oh yes. Speaking of Elrude, you find
what?
Written in like Sora's handwriting, just hidden away in the books and scrolls.
There we go.
Great.
Right, he finds what?
A curse tablet.
Oh.
What gets the feeling it was addressed to their father.
Awesome. I'll make sure to also give that to Sorath.
So what you get from the writings about the Dragon constellation is whenever your constitution or intellect or perceptive or your wisdom, whenever you're forced to make a saving throw on those, you can treat the roll as a 10 if
Cool.
it's 9 or lower.
Specifically
if it's a spell.
I'm just making the constellation on a piece of paper.
Alright.
Yes, but you cannot escape the education.
Yeah, I can read it, I guess. I mean, I might as well read the others, but I've already got the Star Form constellations here. But
alright. Now, yes? Alright, going over to the other dragon, or dragons. So, it is a long, long flight on your broom.
Right. Time to just, like, fucking learn fantasy Japanese to fuck with Fleur.
Alright.
Just what we're flying over.
Okay, so that would go under training for the downtime. You spend time between adventures learning a new language or training with a set of tools. First, you must find an instructor to teach you. The GM determines how long it takes and whether one or more ability checks are required. The training takes 250 days and costs 1 gold per day.
Alright. First up on the block. Chomper, can you read this?
What are you showing him? Or her?
Since Liv has been known to steal multiple copies of Fleur's books, one of them. Probably this universe's equivalent variant to Journey of the West, since she has a translated copy.
Well, this world's equivalent is A Journey to the East.
It stands.
But that is written in fantasy Chinese.
God, damn.
Well, Liv probably wouldn't know that. Well, she might. She might.
She knows that it's a Chinese story. She doesn't know that Fleur didn't have it get translated.
She doesn't need to get it translated.
Yeah, that's the problem. That said, fantasy Chinese would work as well.
Okay. Well,
if not, then probably like some more person. Does Fleur keep a diary?
Yes, she does.
Did she leave it behind?
She did.
Then her diary.
Jeez.
Don't worry, this is the first time I've took it from her. She hasn't noticed yet.
Yeah, it's funny you should ask those specific questions. Because I was hoping you would find those. That's the big reason why I brought it up. Brought up the fact that they may have left some things behind. Now, getting Chomper to teach you, she could actually do it, though she doesn't have proficiency, but she could cast tongues and just be like, this word is this, and well, this is what this sentence says.
Alright, it's a fucking start. I'll also send out a magical email to Anana, see if she can get in contact with those, what the fuck were they called? Kami, that apparently Fleur went on about, that they abandoned her and so the CC goes on for a while, of just a rant about Fleur giving up gods.
So
I'll just leave it at that.
So, yeah, it is a start. Do you actually want to know like the contents of the journal?
Maybe like however much they can read in the time that it takes to fly over there, and also accounting for Chomper still needing to sleep like a scrub.
Wow. And would you insist at the beginning?
Oh yes, she absolutely. She probably would like put it as like, think of it as a gift for Fleur when she gets back. Because Chomper doesn't understand societal norms about not reading through somebody else's fucking diary.
Well, this begins a year ago. And
that tragic backstory.
Actually, it's more like the both of you get the sense that this was probably not a great place to start, considering how depressing it is, kind of.
Huh. She could be a poet.
Oddly enough, you do find some haiku.
Okay, so she is a poet. Don't know why the fuck she didn't pursue that of her merchantry, but here we are.
I mean, it is rather sad writing, but also talks about how Liberatos is trying to comfort her after the quote-unquote incident. All the nice things they've been doing, the nice places. Probably not during the first day, but during the second day, because I assume Miss Olivia would insist on Chomper continuing on.
Yes,
when
100%.
when they're not actively looking for a dragon lair.
Oh yes, like entirely speaking.
You eventually get to the point where you're like, so this is when Liberatos proposed.
That poor motherfucker.
But it's written all nonchalant, like, wants to stay with him. He's retire from merchant business. Maybe start a family. He's not saying it. She rather wants to get back into the merchant business because she's getting a bit of wanderlust and also really wants to help her friend.
The second dying man?
Yeah. I think it was Jamie Thaler. One of the Thaler, Nikolai Thaler, who was
cool.
Who is also recovering, though very slow to recover from the quote-unquote incident.
Cool. Like noticeably resisting the urge to forge Fleur's handwriting in fantasy German and footnotes.
In the footnotes?
Oh yeah, like in the margin, just a light bit. I was confused to share it to Fleur, thinking maybe she wrote it, but also she doesn't remember writing it, so it's really fucking weird. But, you know, Chomper is a counterweight to this. If it was Serban, she probably would have.
Would have what?
Probably would have written notes.
And probably the last bit you would get for this day would be her making a... Well, it would start off by saying... my journeys, it's in big print, but also left blank, like the road to blank. It starts talking about her journey over to Wildemire, making a business deal with that halfling that you all know and love, and the formation of the Order of the Swan. Which appears to be which the majority of this diary appears to be the recounting of the journey.
Truly, truly wonderful, Chomper. We can never mention this to her, by the way.
Why not?
Just trust me on it.
Right. Now, Miss Olivia, go ahead and roll me either a perception or investigation.
Okay.
Actually, you could probably do both, because you would run into some villages here, and the investigation would be getting information out of them.
Cool. I will do both then. I will certainly be doing both. Yeah, that's a bit better.
So you don't get anything out of the villagers, though. After a day, you do spot a wall of fog.
Well, Chomper, it's either a lair or a funeral mound. So either we found it or we're gonna have to do some grave robbing.
Because the last time went so well.
Well, look, we don't insult the dragon to their face. But if it is a funeral mound, then we do actually perform some grave robbing. It's probably a black dragon lair though, so let's go.
Alright. So yeah, fly in, and after a bit, you do find another mound raising out of the wetlands with a big hole in the side.
Not gonna lie, Chomper. Really kind of hope it's a funeral mound. No, it's not, but, you know.
There's always the slight possibility that it isn't.
Yep.
Perhaps anyways, it's neither.
True. Either way, I have the bribe ready, so better now than never. If I fucking die, I guess, like, fly back and tell Sturbon he might be slightly bummed for all of 20 minutes.
What now? Slightly
bummed out. Bummed out.
Great.
To be fair, that is entirely accurate to what Liv has seen out of Sturbon's emotional spectrum.
Just bummed.
Yeah, not really mourning, just for grief. Just, it's kind of sad that it happened, but he'll get over it.
Yep.
Sturbon is a very chill guy.
As compared to Arson and Daehoon will probably be fucking dancing in the streets. But yeah, Liv will fly in. And I mean fly in. She's staying on the broom. Gives extra mobility if need be.
Faster escape if necessary.
Exactly. You know, it's always possible this is a Hydra den.
Would that be any better?
Oh no, it would be much, much worse. Are either of us fucking Heracles?
Who's Heracles?
I'm going to have to teach you about him sometime later.
So, you fly in to the point where your dark vision is now showing you dim light. So everything's in black and white.
Yeah, Liv will cast the light spell again.
And cautiously going around?
Yeah, very much so. She learned from her previous encounter with one of these. Contrary to popular belief, Liv can learn from her past. It's not often, but dragons are one instance where it will.
Alright. This den is much bigger than the last one, but you do eventually fly over a mountain and see a big pile of gold. Right. Where's the dragon? you haven't seen anything that indicates this is a crypt. The fog outside was a good indicator that this is a lair. Where's the dragon?
It's behind me, isn't it, Chomper?
Let's see. Lighting. Rules, environment, vision, and light. Dim light, lightly obscured. Disadvantage on perception.
But the light cantrip should make it.
Right? Come on, Chopper, this is like one of the few good things you're good at. Not exactly. We flew over it.
Okay. Very slowly, let's make sure that we're not pissing it off.
Now, getting a good look at it, you do see that the horns come out the side of the head forward, and which does indicate that this is a black dragon. And actually, your light cantrip also shows the black scales. It appears to be sleeping.
Okay. Great. So here's the play, Chomper, right?
Yeah.
We just slowly back the broom out. Make sure that it's not going to wake up with us in the same part of the den. And we just wait.
Wait till it wakes up?
Effectively. You get its morning coffee. That way, it's in a less grumpy mood. I don't know.
I'm having a hard time gauging how old this thing is.
I don't know. But it's older than us, thus it's fucking terrifying.
It's big enough to have a lair.
Yeah, I mean, if it was a juvenile, I would still be pretty nervous, but it's not an instant death warrant. This isn't a juvenile. So yeah, live slowly. We'll back out. Turn off the obligatory beep 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 that Sterblon, Arson, Fleur, etc. have been subject to whenever Fleur Liv has to back up the flying, along with the brake lights that she somehow installed in the journey over to Adia. And just wait outside the general horde / sleeping quarters area.
Yeah, you have 4 artificers on the ship. They probably installed them for you.
Oh yeah. Live 100% would too.
So, what do you do in the meantime?
Hey. So, I would say teach me more about this language that Fleur speaks, but it might wake them up. So, I don't know what you want to do, Chomper. I'm just gonna sit here, read and try not to soil myself.
Yeah, sure. I have an idea of what I can do.
Okay.
And, it looks like, well, hold on, I have to make sure what the stuff is for this particular spell. 3rd level, is it? I don't see it there. I could have sworn you had got that spell by now.
In retrospect, we probably managed to Pokemon Starbond along with us.
Oh, you don't get that for another few levels. Never mind then. She's just going to sit there, wide-eyed, curled up in your lap, probably.
Great. Liv is going to pass the time reading. Occasionally checking the Book of Shadows to see if there's a reply about the whole Kami situation.
You do get a reply that says, one is doing something about it. It's like, and it includes like ellipses, like, so, like, here, just. That's pretty much the company email thing you get.
Great. Liv will go back to her reading.
So, after a few hours, you would hear movement coming from where the dragon was sleeping.
Liv stifles and holds back a scream. Do what she'd snuff the light spell and just slowly creep the broom forward to see if it's a dragon that woke up.
Yeah, go ahead and roll perception. No need to do a disadvantage, just do it normally.
Okay. Nice. She is blinded with fear.
Yeah, pretty much. Chomper?
Do you see anything?
Oh, wait, no, yeah. I said normally because reasons. So, I can't really see anything, but it sounds like it's sniffing the air.
Great, so it knows we're here. Goji. Liv will, like, both verbally go knock knock and just knock on the cave wall. Quite nervously.
Who dares approach my lair?
A fool, mostly, but one that has some divine bullshit going on and is turning into one of you.
Explain.
I think what the Twin Divines choose some champions or some bullshit to, like, have a thing to do that usually just they fuck up horribly, and we're probably doomed to repeat history in that regard, but I'm slowly turning into a black dragon. She will then hold out a bribe in her clawed hand. I did bring a gift.
The dragon would approach. And it's bigger than the last one.
Oh, neat. We found one that's older. Terrifying.
Yeah, Chomper begins cowering behind your head. As much as she can. The Twin Divines. Champions.
That's apparently what I've been told. some elven archdruid on an island, like, sat down and explained it to us.
I thought they had given up and left the world.
Clearly, they're stupider than you give them credit for.
Clearly, the dragon gods would not have done. They would not have left this world, so if the Twin Divine had driven them out.
Oh, that's interesting. I thought Tiamat was like your mother in the primordial sense, you know?
That may be true in different worlds, but not here. Tiamat is one of the immigrant gods.
Okay. So, good news, I won't fall under her purview if I fully transform?
That is not a certainty.
I really hope not. I sort of am a warlock for Anana.
Another of the immigrant gods.
Well, yeah, but they sort of have beef. But also, like, yeah, no, the Twin Divine apparently caused, like, a whole bunch of us to do some bullshit. I don't know how much you get out, but if you've heard of the Order of the Swan, and honestly our frank idiocy, then you know that they probably fucked up and picked the wrong people.
I have not heard of your group.
Okay, that's great. I'm actually really happy to hear that. Yeah, no, we're fucking idiots, by the way.
As demonstrated by your presence here.
Indeed. Indeed. You are male, right?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because another one of us might have actually rolled up, and, well, I would normally say he's fair game to kill. He's also possessed by a demon. So, you know, how the Tanari are.
Why come here?
Sort of, dragon living and other miscellaneous bullshit. I met another black dragon, but I sort of insulted her to her face. We were also hired to steal her eggs, so there was that.
You were fools for taking such a job.
Yeah, we didn't really know that at the time. Then we met her, and then we just promptly bailed.
Then you are fools for taking a job without learning the details.
Perhaps. Technically speaking, I was the one who negotiated this contract. That said, also, the man who gave it to us died, so... Plus side? I think he died. He was a Rakasha? Rashaka? The backwards hand tiger dude.
Rakshasa.
Thank you. No, I think some upstarts who slew a hecatonkries of all things just rolled up, beat his ass, and stole one of his prisoners.
The Hidden Sons.
Yeah.
Dragon Slayers.
Oh. Yeah, we're not, like, on good terms with them, by the way. Don't misconstrue that. They sickening radianced us once, and one of those assholes, like, shot me twice. Mostly because we travel with, like, I think they keep calling her the Cirrus.
I suppose with a new group of champions there would be a need for a new Cirrus, though the current one still lives.
Huh. Odd. Would you perchance know where she is?
They all came from the region to the north. I have never been there myself. Though if you are foolish enough to come to one such as old as I, perhaps you'll be foolish enough to go talk with one of my kindred there.
Okay. Neat. Can't be as stupid as my compatriots went to space and talked with a Draco Lich when I was missing.
When they talked to him.
Okay, yeah, you know who that apparently Draco Lich is?
He was a dragonborn by the name of Rulka Icehand. To say that he is a Draco Lich would be incorrect. More so that his body was corrupted.
I mean, that generally happens when I'm not going to get into it.
Both his natural body and his draconic form, which he was just beginning to learn how to use, became corrupted by that which they were tasked to fight.
So I'm not necessarily doomed to be more or less a rotting corpse that's mad for eternity?
That is likely.
Okay, silver lining. You hear that, Chomper? Silver lining.
Yeah, we just need to, figure out what it is you're supposed to be fighting and don't get you corrupted by it.
Indeed. Worst case scenario, we go to the Shadowfell and just get me corrupted that way. You are cool with shadow dragons, right? Or did I just say some horrific draconic taboo?
Doesn't say anything.
I'm going to take your silence as a positive maybe. Okay, neat. Do you know anything more about such conditions? Or would I legitimately have to go back north?
To find the Cirrus, you would have to return north.
Yeah, for that whole dragon body stuff.
The draconic transformation. Your pleading has called out to the dead and brought the only successful one back. Though you, it appears, have yet to perceive him.
I have a tendency to not notice things right in front of my face. I flew right over you when you were asleep. Full disclosure. I didn't touch anything. I'm a fool, but I'm not an idiot.
Be sure it doesn't get worse.
As in my ability to...
In either direction. Be sure you do not become more of an idiot.
Okay. That was what I need a clarification for.
Or you might find yourself in the grave early.
Yeah, I have no want to return to Phlegethos. Neat. So this draconic thing will just sort of keep going, and there's somebody that I apparently called from the fucking dead to help fix it, and I can't notice them because I'm a fool. Is that it?
Perhaps. So that is all I can tell you.
Cool. Neat. I'm just gonna leave this here then. I would do the polite thing and ask for your name, but with all due respect, I have no intention of returning here anytime soon, if I do not have to.
For your sake. Let us hope not.
Hey, great. Oh, follow-up hypothetical. Could I, technically make a layer on, like, something that's moving? Or does it have to be permanently stationary?
None has tried to do it on something mobile. Though I doubt you could.
Unfortunate. Willing to try regardless, just to fuck with one of my compatriots. Great. Wonderful speaking with you, sir. If some dumbass paladin comes barging in here, either screaming about that demon, or devil, or whatnot, or eggs, perhaps. I mean, rough him up, certainly. He deserves it, but please don't kill him. You really don't need a portal to the abyss. Yep, okay, thank you. Just keep that in consideration, sir. Alright, bye. She will, immediately just sort of pull, like, a 3-point Yui and book it out of there at top flying speed.
How fast are you pulling out of there?
It goes 50 feet per second, so as fast as possible.
Okay, so when you near the entrance to the cave, for some odd reason, you see a fox just sitting at the entrance, looking in.
Oh, God. She will pick the fox up. Now's not the time, let's go. It takes her a few seconds to realize that it's a Nari, but she's still too panicked. Or one of Nari's servants.
So, wait, a couple of seconds, like, rushing towards it to process that?
No, yeah,
or
like,
after picking it up?
After picking it up, once it's in her arms. Oh, this is probably a kitsune. I don't care, I'm about to throw up. She will fly back to the palace.
Are you flying straight there, or are you going to, like, take a rest stop to recover?
She'll ask Chomper if Chomper needs to go use the restroom really quickly. If not, then no, we're just flying.
I think, given the circumstances, she would definitely need to relieve herself.
Okay, cool. Yeah, she's gonna pull out, like, once it stops being like A, wetlands, and B, certainly far enough away from the lair, and just pull over. And then finally also let the fox down because she realized that she's manhandling a servant of a kami, or a kami itself. Either way, it's not that good.
Oh, you let the fox down, and it shakes itself, and it's at that point you realize it has 3 tails.
Okay, so my suspicions were confirmed. Great. I'll be right back to you. She goes off and she goes off into like some tall grass or behind a tree or something and falls asleep herself. One can swear there's a sound of vomiting. It's unclear if it's because of Arson's water arm or because of scaredness.
Okay, so you both return to the broom. The fox is still there, sitting, looking at Miss Olivia.
Yeah, hi. You must be the one who Inanna helped me hook up with. What's your name?
The fox would transform into a gorgeous woman. Of course, because it's a kitsune.
Look, yeah, you're like a solid 11, but I'm a 12, so get on my level, bitch. She does not say that out loud.
It's like subtly thinking it.
Yes.
I am Himiko.
Pleasure to meet you. Miss Olivia Felred.
Pleasure.
Yes, that is also my virtue name.
I say you requested someone from the Yamato?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn, like, your native tongue to surprise, a girl for her birthday that comes from your region, and I think also Nari's fucking with her now.
Well,
in like the
not literal sense. Yes, that is a shame. That is a shame because it was Inari that answered her prayers, though not in the way that she would have expected.
Yeah, she doesn't. You know, like I first joined up with a goddess, she kept like thinking I was entirely lying that A, the gods do exist, and B, that I work directly under one.
Yes, but
yeah, she's currently preoccupied, so it gives me some time to try and learn.
Yeah, well, yes. Helping those samurai with yokai is certainly a deal. You would know, just finished off at Juragomo.
Right. I hope she doesn't have fucking arachnophobia now, but like, okay.
No, that's her bodyguard.
Yeah.
And she absolutely told you that in case you wanted to mess with him.
Cool. I will keep that in mind.
It's like it's not hard to tell. It's like there's that sly look that you've recognized from the numerous fae that you've met.
Or Theo, or her own mirror.
Yes.
Yeah, but the point stands. Great. I'm gonna write that down and just take it up with someone I know later. 100% she's showing that to Starborn later, by the way. Let's just I gotta go meet up with like the rest of the Order of the Swan back at the Basileus's palace. I think one of them's still in the fucking library with an old man. Another one got slightly poisoned due to actions I will refuse to elaborate on further. But I don't know how you would prefer to, like, you know what? You can just get on the broom. Sorry for
reverts
you like that.
Yeah, reverts back to her fox form and jumps onto the broom and deftly, even when the broom is moving, she can move back and forth freely on the broom without trouble.
Yeah, you don't need to flex like that.
And she will begin teaching you fantasy Japanese.
Wonderful. Can't wait for Storbon to get a trauma dump about dragons.
Alright, now I have to do something with arson since it'll be another day before you come back.
Oh, yes.
Constitution save.
Oh, poor boy.
Yes. He doesn't get advantage on saving against the poison.
This is so sad.
So you get a 3 days worth of training in because apparently the Kitsune doesn't need to sleep just like you do.
Liv likes Chomper enough not to say something about how Chomper should get on her level.
Chomper's listening, but it's just like...
Oh, yeah.
For 8 hours, she has to sleep.
Yeah, that's the point, is that Liv likes Chomper, so Liv's not going to say about how... I can't believe you have to fucking sleep, scrub. Yes.
Well, this is becoming a friend.
Yeah.
2, she provides better healing than you do.
Yeah, no, she likes Chomper, so Chomper's fine.
And so, after 3 days, you return to the palace.
Great. Liv sort of confusedly looking at Himiko. I was like, do you just want to follow after us? Like, I mean, we're gonna have to be waiting a while longer, but...
The fox yips and gets off the broom.
Cool.
And looks back at you expectantly.
Okay, neat. You're just going to... Okay. Liv will, lead Chomper and Himiko into the secret library where Sturbon is.
Okay.
Presumably.
So, Sturbon, after 3 days, Miss Olivia returns with a paler Chomper and a 3-tailed fox.
Great.
It's also worth noting you think you catch glints of gray hair in Liv now.
Cool.
You don't know how that's physically possible because, half succubus and supposed to be forever beautiful. But...
Comes with a curse. Alright. Well, I can now turn into a three-tailed fox. That's great.
Oh, yeah. Himiko Sturban. Sturban Himiko.
Great. Charmed.
Yeah, she's teaching me how to speak Flor's native tongue. You learned anything of note? Daehoon hasn't destroyed this palace yet?
Not yet.
I now have some of the constellations out.
Huh.
Like this
neat.
dragon.
Astronomy. Interesting take.
It's...
Speaking of dragons, I went to go see it. I think ancient black dragon.
Cool.
The fact that I'm still alive is nothing short of a miracle.
Yes. They appear to have more restraint than I previously thought. Seeing as at the last one, we started.
I think most of it's just because we started shit with the last one.
We insulted the everlasting snot out of it before we realized.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't too pleased with me because I just waltzed into his fucking home. Good news. Apparently what happened to the last guy that you ran into at the Maw of Fire shouldn't happen to me. Which is a silver lining.
Yes, it'd be unfortunate.
My fervent prayers may have called a man back to the living. I am genuinely shocked. I did not think I had that capacity in me.
You're a what now?
My pleading fervent prayers, whatever, something about it.
Okay, you brought a man back to life. Fun.
Yeah, I don't know how, and I don't know where he is because I haven't sensed it yet.
Great.
I think I might have just killed Chomper by about 10 years. I'm really sorry, by the way, Chomper.
I'm still young, aren't I?
Oh, no, yes, like the stress. Something about being able to control this ability, though, which is cool, I guess? I don't know.
So what, once you turn into a dragon for the first time, you can just turn back into normal?
I don't know.
Demonic form.
Hopefully, he didn't really have a whole lot of information to go off of. We're gonna have to find another dragon in the Monte Escalante region.
Oh, come.
Because they might know more. Oh, yes, and despite the fact that everyone seems to keep calling Fleur the Cirrus, the previous one is still alive?
Cool. So they didn't need her after all.
Yeah, I guess. So it's just sort of another reason why we need to find an ancient dragon back in Shemver.
Great.
She very noticeably does not look too pleased about that prospect. And yeah, Himiko here is here to help me teach me learn Fleur's native tongue. And apparently they're just using Silver and Fleur to like hunt down yokai.
That's part of it.
Okay.
The fox says this without even transforming into a human. That came straight from the fox.
Yeah, well, Liv knows what a kitsune is, so she's not phased.
I was saying that more for Sturbon.
Cool.
Oh yeah, the fox speaks common, by the way. It's actually a divine spirit, I think, but that's beside the point.
I figured as much, seeing as how you don't normally find three-tailed foxes.
I don't know. There could be something in the fucking water here after Xerxes took control. Point being, yeah, Sylvar now has arachnophobia, so I'm not telling you that I'm not saying that you shouldn't turn into a giant spider when he gets back, but I'm also not saying it. You know, for fun. I'm sure we can talk to a Raw and he would condone it.
Oh, I most certainly would.
Oh, fucks! Gods! Why are you, you're listening to? Is there any other, like, semi-divine being that wants to step out of the shadows menacingly?
From the shadows, that's Ferdiant, no.
I'm not asleep. Wait to stab me until then. Look, we have a deal. You can use the dream knife on me, but not the real knife. Alright?
No. Well, you do see the glowing butterfly flutter by for a second before it disappears into the air. Well, fades into the air.
Yeah. So, you know, there's that. Oh yeah, and apparently there used to be older dragon gods in this world. Like, Inanna and Bahamut, like, yeah, they're not from this material plane. Not Inanna. Well, Inanna, obviously. Tiamat and Bahamut. Presumably neither Inari or any of the Kami.
That's interesting.
Or Slapotli, or... Well, you get the idea. Oh yeah, the Twin Divines kicked out the Dragon Gods.
Fun.
So we should probably keep that in mind if we do see another ancient dragon. Because he was pretty mad as a whole, but I don't really know whether or not he was chill or angry with the Twin Divines for doing that.
Well, you didn't do an insight check, so you don't.
Honestly, knowing Liv, even if she did, she wouldn't be able to pick it up.
Yeah, too scared.
Also, he was just sort of angry as a whole. That said, if we do see an ancient dragon, I would prefer for it to be a metallic one.
How so?
Unlike their chromatic brethren, such as black, blue, or red, among other colors, the metallic dragons, such as gold, silver, and bronze, don't tend to eat people.
They tend to do the opposite. They tend to help people.
Yeah, I mean, they're generally speaking good aligned, so, like, yeah, I know I'll have to keep myself under check, but I'm not looking to piss off an ancient dragon. Just of any sorts. Actually, wait, super crazy question, Himiko. What was it? Yamato no Orochi? Was that just, like, some really old black dragon or a completely different beast?
Different beast. They had 8 heads.
Well, magic is a thing that, so is it more closely aligned to, like, a Hydra?
More closely related. No.
Okay.
Its heads didn't grow back.
Yeah, thankfully, I presume. Also, from what I understand, when Heracles cut off the Hydra's heads, a cool sword didn't pop out, just really painful venom. Fun fact, Sturbon and Chomper, since you don't know about Heracles, it made an immortal give up his immortality so he could just fucking die when he got hit with a poison-tipped arrow.
Sounds fun. Where can we get this?
It's Well, we can either try and kill a Hydra, find a Hydra corpse, or that Dark Sun group maybe has come across one that they slew.
Hidden
or
Suns.
would be willing to play. Okay.
Wait, you have a letter from them.
Yeah, I don't care enough to learn their group name. I don't even know any of their names. Point being, if they may have killed one, and we could just go back to where they killed it.
Grab the poison, then we can use it on whatever the heck pops out of Daehoon.
Actually, we get it absolutely wasted first, and then we run. She just sort of looks back at Himiko proudly for doing her homework.
Yeah. The few
is that effectively it?
Yeah, the few homework that you did has a really big circle on it. Which, for those of you that
good or
yeah,
bad.
Okay. It's good.
Okay. I also apparently learned that the sun goddess from First Homeworld might just be incredibly fucking gay. But now I kind of hate her.
Okay.
Something flayed pony, something cave, something striptease.
Did I hear flayed pony and then striptease?
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Storm God threw flayed pony and sister, who was sun goddess's weaving hall of all things. So she sulked in a cave, and then, among some other half-brained ways to get her out, because sun, Dawn Goddess does a striptease, and that makes Sun Goddess come out of cave.
Huh.
Yeah. And I thought my gods were weird. I mean, they were the one that Sorath worships straddled a wooden phallus of a dead guy on this dead guy's casket. To be fair, it was a promise, and he did keep it, but still kind of weird, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I don't know if... Okay, so Daehoon just hasn't noticed that we kidnapped a man.
Or he has, he just hasn't been able to find him.
That is probably funnier. We should probably check the secret passageways, make sure that our paladin isn't stuck in there.
Great.
But if you don't have any other business in Agia, we could certainly probably head back. Hell, I'm pretty sure Thorath can just teleport us there.
And we'll have the airship.
I trust Hagen. Don't you trust Hagen?
I suppose he's trustworthy. I suppose I haven't known you. I've known you only a few days longer than him.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's a really big problem, we can just sort of yeet Daehoon onto the ship. Probably arson too. I heard some really disconcerting noises coming out of that room.
Great.
Yeah, I don't think teleportation sickness would do him well.
Alright.
Well, honestly, you could just use a teleport to a teleportation circle.
Well, I mean, the point stands. Do you really want arson to throw up in your your tavern or something?
I'm sure he's used to that all the time.
Well, I mean, certainly he runs a bar, but like, it doesn't make it nice. Also, do you really want to find out what a fire ganassi's vomit is? It might light the tavern on fire.
I doubt he'll light the tavern on fire unless he's been chugging.
It might be slightly akin to magma. We do not know.
Great.
But he does run a very high body temperature, and his entire midsection is just made out of volcanic rock. It is entirely likely if he were to throw up, it is just something akin to magma. Speaking of which, next time the arson gets, like, fucking wasted, we should probably just tie him off the edge of the ship. Just in case, you know?
Okay.
Again, unless you want to test the hypothesis that, about fire ganassi vomit being flammable on a wooden flying vessel.
Let's not do that.
Great. Cool old man that we traded one of our founding members for. You can go with Daehoon.
Well,
Unless you want to take the teleportation circle? Are things cool between you two, or should we just let you talk it out for the travel back?
Well, here's the thing. Are either of you familiar with the Genomyson's theocracy?
I am Miss Livia Felrude. What do you think?
Well, you're the person I refused to sign the execution order for.
Oh fuck, you're a real homie.
Well, not for bad reasons. The theocracy is very, very corrupt. They take bribes, like, especially all the way at the top. And
Are you telling me my entire hero's journey just could have been averted if I wasn't trying to be a good person for my love?
I don't know, but it's not going to get any better. Most of the country are demon worshippers, even though they don't know it.
Oh. So it's definitely good I didn't end up converting. You know, for his sake. That also entirely explains why they went after a tiefling.
So,
like, in a completely different matter. That said, I kind of hate the fact that I could have just done what I do best and bribed some motherfucker and not have to deal with this adventure bullshit.
Yeah, well, they probably would have still gone after you anyway, since demons and devils.
Look, I mean, if they wanted to, they could bring the Blood War to the material plane. Or they could just accept the... You know what? No, live and learn. Live and learn. I'm going to blow up their main temple, by the way. Are you in?
Oh, definitely, I am in. Other things you should know, the people at the very top are very much aware that the rest of the country worships demons. Like, the entire faith is based around demon worship, even though the country doesn't know it. Also,
and how do we keep Stormbender from, like, becoming a demonic zit?
That is an excellent question, because if I were an actual cleric, I probably would know. But since I was unknowingly a cleric to a demon, I don't think that would be very helpful.
Yeah, that's dangerously towing the line on Warlock territory, and I can assure you, if I could have performed that exorcism, I would have already.
And you have to understand, he was in the basement of the church for years. If I could have done anything about the demon, I would have done it within that time, because I had no good feelings about keeping him down there. This was before I discovered that we were demon worshippers.
Yeah, I kind of yelled that at Daehun, but he wouldn't have it. Stubborn bastard. No. So you're in on blowing up the main temple. Great. I will add you to the list when we go do that. Follow up. If we can't fix Daehun, are you cool with us just yeeting the paladin into the plane of negative energy?
I'd rather you have an option to keep him alive, but if there's nothing else that can be done.
Great. Stirrupon's here original option I think was the sun, but I don't think the sun deserves to be demon infested.
Also, is that a pseudo dragon on your shoulder?
Yeah, she occasionally turns into a human.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
And that's a three-tailed fox that can talk.
Yeah,
also complicated.
It's arguably somehow more complicated. She can turn into a very beautiful woman, though.
And you somehow got into this room without anyone noticing.
Yeah, I grew up here.
No, he wasn't saying that to you. He was saying that to Libertas.
Oh. I don't know. Libertas likes to tail me, and I had more pressing issues.
Honestly, I got... Well, while you were gone, a circus came into town. Oddly enough, it was the circus that I was a part of.
Oh, damn. You catch up with some old friends? That's sweet.
Yes. Made sure my mother was doing alright. Still have no effing clue who my dad is. And, of course, Rawa have enough clout in this city that we were told about this library. So, while you were gone, I figured I might as well come and see if there was anything interesting in here about the arcane.
Oh, neat. I honestly kind of figured that you were either tailing me and I just hadn't noticed, or you just followed the exact opposite map that I painted in Daemon's room.
So that was you.
But yeah, obviously.
Also, that note that you left with Arson. It's admittedly very good. But to someone who's known her for years, you messed up in a few places.
Look, it's quite literally something I've done for a living besides all this apparently being chosen by the fucking Twin Divines bullshit. It's like if you need Sturbon here to set up a military camp and shout out marching orders. He went to boot camp, he knows.
Sure.
You did finish basic training, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So the point stands. I'm not incorrect.
It's a whole lot easier than some other things.
Well, certainly, you can turn into a fucking giant spider.
One heck of a way to scare everyone, yes.
Yeah. We are remembering that for Silvar, by the way. I mean, if not, I do have my means, but big-ass spider sounds very serious to watch Silvar. Just, if he gets big and draws his sword, revert back very quickly. For, get stabbed, the wounds won't stick, but it might be a slightly painful ordeal. I'm gonna take your stunned silence as you're probably gonna go with the former. Okay, so, I don't know, unless you wanna, beat up someone, or
back to
finish
Wildmire.
learning about constellations. Yeah, I'll
I mean, there is a lovely library back in Snugcave.
Oh, yeah, dearly. Right. If that's the case, then we're taking Arson along. I take back what I said. Arson absolutely is coming along.
Great. So you're trying to perform more experiments with his arm?
No, not really, but that lovely library that I think Libertas here is talking about is the one that my aunt runs.
Your aunt? Oh, yeah, I think you remember. I remember you talking about her.
Yeah. Arson doesn't like her. I don't know why. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, so Sturban, you want to go get Arson? I'll lurk for my sisters and maybe steal some arcane components for Sorath. And meet back here at sundown.
Sure.
Before you go, Miss Olivia, I decided to go check up on your ship while you were gone, and while I was not with circus people. Apparently, you got 2 new applicants.
Okay. Change of plans. Sturban, do you want to go deal with this bullshit really quickly since our HR department's missing?
Fine.
Alright, let's go to the ship. Himiko, you're more than welcome to come. Maybe transform back into a human, though.
You say this, and the fox is nowhere to be seen.
Okay, she's gone.
Well, I'm not gone. I'm just invisible.
Oh, that's
a little disconcerting.
Servant of Inari, don't worry about it. Let's go. I think you do serve Inari, right, Kimiko?
Yes.
Okay.
How else would you have requested one of us?
I don't know. Inanna doesn't tell me these things, okay? For good reason.
So, yeah, hurry down to the ship, I take it, and meet with Tegan. Since he kind of runs the ship when you people aren't around.
Yep.
Oh yeah, we got some particular fellas. They said they were siblings, but well, actually no, that does make sense. They could be adopted siblings. Anyway,
even then, Tegan, you haven't met her, but my middle sister looks like. Well, she has very feline-like features, and I'm not going to elaborate further because I'm pretty sure she can and would run from the palace to here just to stab me in the back if I continue.
It's
she doesn't have to run. She could just chuck that thing she has.
I don't.
That's also terrifyingly true.
That says the internal Servon into your mind. It's a brother sister combo. A air and earth Ganassi.
Oh, neat. We're really just replacing Arson here, aren't we?
Maybe.
Honestly,
I'll be just saying my thoughts. Just speaking my mind here. I think Rutra only wants the Earth Ganassi on here because he's interested in rocks and he has a rock collection. That is not true. That is not true.
Also, if you really, really want to, you could just look at Arson's chiseled axe. Like, quite literally chiseled.
Yeah, you're not a geologist, you won't understand.
It's mostly basalt.
The Earth Ganassi's name is Fessio, and the Air Ganassi is Arno.
Huh.
And it is... They spelled their names, oddly, capital letters in the middle of their names.
Okay, neat. Neat. Just, I don't know, send them in, since Durban and I are the only two
responsible people.
Oh, yeah.
I was also going to say healthy. Emotionally and physically. Currently here, yeah.
So it takes a little bit because they're not on the ship. They haven't been accepted yet. They arrive. The Earth Ganassi is brown skin, and the Air Ganassi is pale skin. You know, what you would expect Ganassi of their type to be. Earth Ganassi male, the Air Ganassi female. The Air Ganassi looks a bit distracted as she's looking into her notes. I tell you, the captain of this ship, or at least the owner of this enterprise.
Sure.
Yeah, Smithlovia Felrud, CEO of the Order of the Swan LLC, and this is Sturban's last name, Chief Operating Officer, and also mascot of the Order of the Swan LLC. I see that side eye.
Great.
She, for the record, is like sitting on the broom, somehow instinctively petting Himiko. Despite still being invisible.
Okay. Well, let's cut to the chase, I suppose. My name is Fessio. And I am a researcher, so to speak. Your people may have been under the impression we're seeking applications. More so, we're looking to do work as payment for passage.
You need to go to presumably Shimver?
Are there mountains in Shimver?
Oh, a lot, yeah. Quite literally, like, the entire region's name has mountain in it.
Then I think that will do.
What are you looking for in mountains?
Well, I'm a geologist. She's an astronomer.
Great.
Arno, by the way. Which, Sturbon, you recognize as the name of the druid from the things you've been reading.
Yes.
Cool. So, geologist and astronomer. Okay, yeah, no, that's an interesting case.
I mean...
Sturbon, do you think that not a Dracolich is still in the modifier area?
I'm sure he's forgotten us by now and gone up to Terra.
Okay, because I was going to suggest you did manage to go to fucking space, correct?
Yes, we were in space when we first met him, and then he came out of space.
Yeah. Okay. How loudly are you saying that?
Stage whisper.
Okay, stage whisper. Arno, what's your passive? Really high.
This boat goes faster than it.
So you say outer space, her head pokes up, right? But I'm sorry. Did you went beyond the world?
Yeah, apparently these dipshits just went to fucking space and talked to like some rotting carcass of a dragon while I was traveling.
It was wonderful. Consider near-death experiences to be wonderful.
Well, I mean, you were in space. I think as far as our near-death experiences have gone, that probably makes the top 10.
If the list even goes up to 10.
That said, Sturbon, like, if that motherfucker's not there, I would. You absolutely have to take me there so I can go to space too. It's only fair.
Alright, I think we'll have to bring Arsenal because he's the only one that can speak whatever the bloody heck the, what is it, alien ship spoke or whatever it was.
Why don't we just bring Chomper? Chomper knows the tongue spell.
Sure. Actually, yeah, we could.
Wait. Okay. There was a ship?
Sure. A ship. A portal. Whatever.
Wait. Okay, yeah, I guess. This is the first I've heard about the ship. I just sort of understood that they teleported to, like, an asteroid or some shit.
What was the language?
What was that?
What language?
No. It was something that only Arson can speak.
Yeah, Arson's currently suffering from some internal hemorrhaging, I think. So he's gonna have to get back to you on that later.
Yeah. We tried to make him very powerful. It did not work out so well.
Let me just take a wild guess. This Arson person. He's a fire Ganassi, isn't he?
No. He's a fire Ganassi, an earth Ganassi, and a fallen one.
Yeah, he's, I think, what's her name? Miss Spirit of Nature, Elven Lady, called him, like, an elemental chimera.
A chimera?
Of sorts.
Alright.
Though, he was 100% born as a fire Ganassi and escaped some sort of volcano cult.
Of course, we meet another Ganassi with a pun name. Of course, we're not innocent of that. We fully realize we have pun names.
I don't think it's a pun as much as the majority of crimes he's been committed for.
Yes.
Like, it's either that or his name would be petty theft.
Yeah, there's...
He's a bit of a hothead. Luckily, neither of you are water Ganassi. because he currently has beef with one. We
Why?
refer to him as Better Arson.
Why?
I'll refer to the
Why
two
does
of you as Better Arson.
Why does that not surprise me? That he has a rival that's a water ganassi.
I mean, it's probably dramatic irony of some sorts, but like also I sort of egged it on. But you know, calling said water ganassi Better Arson. For the record, I again will also call both of you Better Arson to Arson's face. But funny thing, yeah, you certainly can maybe take this ship. We do have like rooms to just keep them in without windows and shit. That way they don't know.
Of what? Like?
About state secrets mostly.
Yeah.
But alternatively, we were just about to go out, get some stuff for our teleportation circle, and just sort of bamf over there.
Sure, and leave Daehoon to try and figure out where his
Yes, we are taking the old
man.
We should probably leave him a note to just get on the boat and return to Snock Cave.
Shit. Are you gonna leave it the same way you left the other one?
Yes, obviously. I have style.
Great.
Actually, I think Fleur still has some leftover actual blood. I could try that.
Wait, what?
From the circle that Drew and fucked up trying to keep Liv's mom when she summoned.
Yes, but it would be 3 days old by now.
Okay, so it's not useful for magic, but it's useful to if I just add some water to it and use it like the world's most cursed watercolor.
I shouldn't be surprised. I shouldn't be surprised, yet I still am.
Actually, you know...
Especially after tonight's session, I really shouldn't be surprised.
Actually, adding on to that, to make it even more cursed, I could just, like, for the watercolor to properly work, just sort of dunk one of Arson's fingers into the vial, stir it up a bit. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, if you would rather just teleport there instead of, I believe, 3-month journey?
If you're offering, we would be very grateful.
Yeah.
Probably a whole lot safer, too.
Almost certainly a whole lot safer, especially because Daehoon would be the only one.
We are more capable than we look.
That's actually somehow more concerning.
I mean, yeah, sure, one's...
Like...
At least one's decent.
Well, Sturbon, the point being is that, like, if they die, yeah, that's tragic. And we would have to work diligently to try and bring them back to fucking life, because, like, come on, we entrusted them on our boat. We have a reputation to live up to. But if they actually manage to take Daehoon down, you know what happens.
Yeah, sure. You guys all get to have a panic attack, and I get to figure out how fast I run.
What do you mean? We'll be far enough away. That said, yes, we are absolutely going to another plane if we find out that Daehoon died on the trip home.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Hey, Ron, you would be chill with us just crashing at your place if that's the case, right? I know you're listening. You're always fucking listening.
You get no response.
I'm gonna take your stunned silence as a yes.
Well, what you should take it is me effing with you.
Anyways, so, like, yeah. Oh, Also, like, I fucking got a response out of the Archfey. High five, Swan.
Alright.
Point being, no, let's teleport you guys then. Storeball, you wish to... What were you planning on doing, really, again? 'Cause I know I gotta go... Oh, right, you need to pick Arson up. Because he is in fucking agony. Right. I'm gonna go paint the world's most cursed watercolor message on Daehoon's wall.
Let's see if he could actually fight the priest after this amount of time.
hopefully by the time he gets back to Stock Cave on the ship, he knows where the priest is.
Hopefully.
And I will go get the sisters ready and then meet Beth in front of the palace at sundown.
Sure.
Great. No. We can talk payment or whatever later. It's honestly not that difficult. Yeah,
Joe.
Great meeting you.
Yeah. See you then.
Yep.
Also, joke on you for me letting the party split like that. I'm not going to have an entire session where Daehoon's not present unless his player's not going to be present. And there's a significant time skip. You just say that Chomper went and got him.
Poor Chomper. It makes sense, but poor Chomper.
It's like, it would probably be a bad idea to split them up. Also, they did just make an argument of teleporting being safer. And we would probably want the person with the demon in a safer mode of transportation.
Yeah, that's... If Chomper is keeping that for herself, Liv will not correct it. If Chomper does speak it out loud, or telepathically, to at least Liv would be like, no, I mean safer for us. Not him, us.
Nah, she would think that internally, but she's not going to bring it up.
Yeah. Cool. So, Sundown teleportation circle time. Let's go.
Yeah, and when you all meet up, Chomper has brought Daehoon and is on his shoulder.
Quick, blindfold him. We're gonna have to dump him somewhere else.
Alright.
It's cool. I think he got some of the human blood in his eyes.
Arno and Fessio arrive. Arno in hide armor with holding a shield and a sheathed scimitar. Well, Fessio has a shield, half plate armor, and a sheathed longsword, as well as a long bow and quiver of arrows, along with the backpacks and a... Oh, no, I won't mention that.
Cool. Fair disclosure, as Sorath is starting with the teleportation circle, unless fucking Libertas gives Sorath the runes to the one in the bear brawler.
Get out of sight right now. We're coming in hot.
Okay, so anyways, yeah, all your personal facts. All of our personal facts.
Yeah.
Our first personal facts.
You're not forgetting
Enough
them.
clothes to last Silvar. Yes. Enough clothes to last Silvar like a day, but we're leaving. But Liv, unless somebody else grabbed them, Liv is exploding. What would your master do? Fuck with this poor girl or not?
He'd mess with her.
You to ponder that.
He would mess with her.
Let's just teleport back to Sake.
Alright.
Presumably we did tell Tegan to head back
yes.
to Shimper.
Yes, that...
Okay, good.
If none of you did it, Libertas did. And so the, I think, Sorath? It was?
Yeah, Sorath had to cast it.
So, Sorath finishes the circle, it lights up, and you all rush in, and that is where we'll call it for this week.
Wonderful.